Welcome back to another live installment. Hope all is well. I'm sitting here um, looking at this Cleveland Browns versus Los Angeles Rams game, and Shedeur, they letting him play the last of it. My question is, did they set him up to fail? Because the protection is horrible. He don't got sacked probably like twice, and yeah, man, it's not a good look what they doing. But I'm looking at it, and the protection is horrible. The protection is mad horrible, man. The protection is mad horrible. Protection is horrible, man. That's the only thing I can tell you. You said it's not the offensive line. He can step up in the pocket. He could throw the ball away, take a sack. He's too busy running in circles and missing wide open receivers. Play calling is horrible. This got me in tears. This is heartbreaking. The game was painful to watch. Um, yeah, he's pretty much in a bad situation here. The reason why I say a bad situation, and you can see his body language. His body language in this game is off. The body language in this game is off, man. You know, if you looked at it, you see his body language. The body language is off, and you got to understand he's a human being at the end of the day, and this is not let set aside football. He's a human being, and the NFL he has gotten word. I'm sure him and his family has gotten word that the NFL set him up allegedly. That's a hard thing to process, guys. That's a hard thing. You got the whole system against you. That's a hard thing. Like, he don't work hard all his life to get to the point to where it's been said that the NFL said don't draft him. And then they allegedly called the Cleveland Browns and said go ahead and draft him. And they didn't want to draft him. But they said no, draft him. That's why they were looking like that on draft day after they drafted him. Let me tell you something else. I knew something was going on because once he got drafted, they had all the pageantry set up at the draft because people waited so long. I could see the setup, but I can't prove it. And I'm pretty sure he knows that because I remember I looked at a comment on Instagram where Eric Dickerson was talking, and Bucky liked it. He liked the post. You know what I'm saying? Shador's brother Bucky liked the post. So they know, they're aware of what's going on. Trust me. They're aware of it. They're aware of it. If there's something happen where this kid gets cut, I suggest he get the best lawyers that money could buy and sue these people, man. Because I'm gonna tell you something, when Eric Dickerson came out with that information, I believe somebody wanted that to get leaked. You know, just to say, hey guys, this is what happened. It's up to you what you want to do with it at that point. So this is not just football. It happens in business world. You know, it happened to some of you that's probably listening, where you got a raw deal because the company was against you. Just because it's some people, they have a bad time in a company just because they're not liked for whatever reason. It's just it could just take a boss for not liking you for existing, for you to have a hard time. It happens to everybody. It's not just Shador and what's going on here. It happens, and I mean, this happened to me, you know, like that, until I struck fear in them people. I went up to a guy. I said, listen, when you get outside, nobody can save you. He like, what are you talking about? I said, I know where you live at. I said, they can't save you. What happens if I want to crash out? I know where you live at. I just wait for you to get home. See, I didn't need the job no more. But it happens to everybody. It happens. It's life, you know what I'm saying? It happens, but they set him up to fail. It happens on draft night. That's when it happened. That's when it happened. They said they want to teach him, allegedly want to teach him a lesson. You said Huntley just threw a pick. Shit, you'd be throwing picks too with that offensive line out there. That offensive line is atrocious. But, well, the reason why he's out there with the third team is because he's third on the he's third on the depth chart today. So what happened was, Flacco got a little bit, and then Dillon got a little bit, and then Shedeur got the rest of the crumbs, and Huntley. That's what happened. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. They're not going to carry 5 quarterbacks. Somebody got to go. They're not going to carry because remember, Deshaun is still there. At some point, Deshaun is coming back. At some point. I just don't know the timetable on when he's coming back. He was out there today. He was in, he wasn't suited up. He was out there with looked like he had the playbook in his hand, looking at it and stuff like that. But at some point, he's coming back. Right now, they're going with the 18-year veteran. This is 18th season. Joe Flacco is his 18th season. Of course, they're going to go with him as the starter. But he wasn't out there with no third-string offensive line either. And let's just be clear. So we would never know what Shedeur could do with the first team. We would never know because now ain't no more preseason. We're not going to see them work out no more. The workouts are closed now. We're never going to see it. This might have been Shedeur's last game in Cleveland for right now. The only reason why I say for right now, because, this is a long season. Flacco, something could happen to him. I hope not. But if something happened to them, they're going with Gabriel. And, hey, man, I don't wish nothing on nobody, but I think at this point, man, Shedeur just be a little, just patience at this point to see what happens. But the thing is, he was set up from the beginning. When Eric Dickerson came out and said that means somebody wanted us to know that. Somebody did. Somebody out there, they wanted that information to get leaked. Now, that kid body language was off today. Shedeur body language is off, man. When I saw the Joker went up to him, he had his head down. When the Joker went up to him to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't quite respect the veterans like that on the team. I don't have no respect for them because they should be vocal and say something. Like, they taking advantage of this kid, man. Like, somebody should have voiced their concerns and said something. Or maybe they said something behind the scenes, I'm not sure. But that's often what happens in life. Life is not perfect. The playing field is not always going to be level. And you have to persevere. And we don't have no margin for error. I'm just letting you guys know that we don't. We don't have, when you're in the business, anybody here know what I'm talking about. If you're in the business world, you have no margin for error. You have to go to work sick when you don't want to go. Okay? Other people can take off a lot. I knew somebody, he used to take off every Friday. Every single Friday he used to take off. Let me do that. Take off every single Friday and see what they do. However, there is legally something you can do. I found this out. But that's a topic for another story. If you with the organization that they're doing stuff to you, there's something legally you can do. It's just they don't want you to know it. But if anybody going through something, hit me up on the back end. I'll show you how to do some things to where they got to pay you indefinitely while you sit out emotionally hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't work right now. I'm emotionally messed up. I can show you. But getting back to this game, yeah, it's just unfortunate. what's happened to him. It's unfortunate, but it's we already know what it is, so that's pretty much it. We already know what it is. He didn't have the first team offensive line. Hell, he didn't even have the second team offensive line. He didn't. He had the third and fourth. He had the third and fourth stringers. Okay, he had the third and fourth string offensive line. You said show what you want me to show. Oh, show you if you had a job and you think they making your life miserable, I can show you legally how to make them pay while you sit home and chill. I can show you. A lot of people don't know it. You have rights, and depending on what state you in, it can get a lot easier. But yeah, Huntley, you said Huntley running for his life. You'll be running for your life too. You out there with that offensive line. You'll be yeah. It is. They're gonna be, but they're gonna. This is what they're gonna use now. This is what they're gonna use now to mess with him. Shedeur body language is off, man. And you saw Dylan Gabriel laughing at him. Did anybody see that? The when he got sacked that last time, when Shedeur got sacked, um, somebody said something. Dylan Gabriel started laughing, and Shedeur has never called him out, has never said anything to him. But let me tell you something. Let's just wait for the season to get started. Let's just wait for the season to get started. Yeah, you saw the laughing, Perry. It's all good because check this out. By the fifth week, by the fifth week of the season, they better be over 500. They better be over 500. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Karma is starting to get people back ASAP these days. So I'm telling you, they got to be over 500. In fact, I'm gonna be betting on them. I'm gonna be betting on the Browns to lose all season. All season, I'm gonna get on the sports betting app, and I'm gonna bet for them to lose all season. They're not gonna cover the point spread. They're not gonna do none of that. They're not covering nothing. No point spread. No nothing. You said the Browns got a squad, man. They're gonna win games. Shedeur will get buried in the depth chart. He's already buried in the depth chart, kinfolk. He's already buried already. Excuse me. He's already buried, buried in the damn. I can't even talk. He's already buried in the depth chart. Buried in the depth chart. He's already there. You said the Browns got a team. We'll see. We'll see. You said all Shedeur need protection and time. They didn't give it to him. And let me tell you something. They were laughing at him on the sideline. Gabriel, he was laughing. And it goes back to what his coach said at Oregon. They play for clicks and all that. We play for this. Trust me, that's where his comments came from. Trust me on that. Shedeur, no, because they was talking to Shedeur about it. He said, "What'd you think he meant?" I don't know. I'm not here to know what he. So Shedeur knows. He didn't buy what Gabriel said. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel was laughing when he got sacked. Yeah, Flacco was laughing too. That's okay. I'm ready for opening season. That's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for opening season. I heard Lanning and Stefanski are buddies. Listen, they didn't want to draft him. Eric Dickerson, look, he's known for being real, if y'all don't know. Eric Dickerson is not afraid to speak his mind, yo. He said they didn't want to draft him, but the NFL called him and said, "Hey, listen, draft him, man." Because he wasn't supposed to fall that far. That we wanted to teach him a lesson, but not that much of a lesson. Come on now, draft him, man. And the next thing you know, they said allegedly he got drafted. See how Stefanski and what's his name face looked when he got drafted? They ain't even want to draft the kid. He's at a squad where they don't want him, yo. Do y'all know that? See, I'm not trying to kumbaya with y'all, yo. I'm being real. They don't want him. I know people say, yeah, he's going to persevere and this and that. No, he's not. The owner didn't want him. He came out and said it. Well, what more do y'all want? What more do y'all want? They being real with you. Stop sitting up here thinking something magical is going to happen, man. When a system is against you, it's not much you can do. It's not much you can do. He can go play in Germany, though, and make 60 million in 2 years. That's what he can do. If he want to go play in Germany, shit, he'll make money in Canada. Ask the Rocket Ishmael. Stop playing with me. Ask the Rocket Ishmael. He can make right now. If he go to Canada, he'll make a lot of money. In endorsements and everything, he'll make a. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. The coach said that when he was speeding, he made a bad decision and all that, right? This and that and the third. But they just brought on a quarterback that had alleged domestic issues, even though it was dropped. And they said, well, they hurried up and got him on the team, talking about we got to hurry up and get him acclimated. That's because the team wants him there. They don't give a damn about his past. As long as it ain't going to be no more investigations, they'll take him. And they're going to get him up to speed. No, it wasn't. You can't compare Dylan Gabriel because he had a better line and everything else. Okay, I want you to. Okay, if Dylan Gabriel is so good, I want you to put him on that offensive line that Shedeur had today, and then we'll talk. But see, we're never gonna know that, so I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. See, I'm not here to give them other people praise. I'm just telling you this. I'm just telling you this, man. I ain't here to give them praise, man. I'm just not here to do it, yo. I'm trying to stick up for us for once. I'm not trying to sit up there and give them no praise, yo. Because they said, let's go back for a minute. They said on draft day, they made a call to the NFL owners and said, don't draft him. We're gonna teach him a lesson. You hear me? We're gonna teach him a lesson. And goddamn, they was like, damn, even they ain't like, damn, he gonna went to the fifth round. Oh my God, so you better draft him. They ain't even want to draft him. That's what I heard. Okay, so the playing field wasn't level here. It wasn't. They already talking shit about Travis. Y'all know that? Y'all know that, right? And they used one of us to do it. Press one if you want to know what they heard, what they said about Travis. And no, don't press one. Watch this. What's his name? I forget the defensive back name. He said that drafting Travis was a waste because if you just use him as a wide receiver, it's a waste of a draft pick. He said, but if Travis played both sides of the ball consistently, that's not a waste. What's his name said that? They're attacking him. They're attacking him too. Travis is not out at the hot fire yet. They're attacking him too. They're attacking him too now. Talking about it's a waste of draft pick. And they had, what's his name, say it, Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark said it. Ryan Clark, that's not a waste of a draft pick. That's not a waste of, if he played wide receiver, that man can play. You know what I'm saying? It's not a waste of a draft pick. That's not a waste of a draft pick. The team doesn't think it's a waste of a draft pick. If the team thought it was a waste of a draft pick, they wouldn't have gave him all that money up front. They gave it all to him up front. That's what Ryan Clark said. They always use us to attack us. They always use us to do it. I heard what he said. I heard what he said now. You said, how come? You said Gabriel. You said Gabriel get max protection with the starting offensive line, and Shedeur get no protect. Right, he did get max protection. Now, here's the thing. Here's a scenario. Um, if this when the season start, I don't know where Shador is going to be on the depth chart. Some people say fourth on the depth chart, but Kenny Pickett still hurt, man. They ain't played Kenny Pickett today. So if Kenny Pickett is not ready to go on opening day, it has to be Shedeur on a third on the depth chart. It has to be. Because if Kenny is not ready to go, he was smiling. Kevin Stefanski they was enjoying them fucking sacks. They were enjoying it. Rebecca M, you said it doesn't matter. What doesn't matter? I forget. I didn't see your comment before. What doesn't matter? Um, you said is Jimmy Horn being traded? I'm not sure. I have to look into that. I don't think so. He needs to leave. Okay, you said it's Shador. Shador is going to be fourth. Okay, so let's look at the scenario real quick. I'm glad I'm live and talking about this. Yeah, Ryan Clark said that. He said that Travis Hunter he said if he doesn't play both ends of the ball, it was a waste of a draft pick. He said that. Ryan Clark said that. Uh, Max, you're trying to be fair. But look, oh, okay, Rebecca, I didn't see your comment before, but thank you for replying. Hey, check this out. So let's do a scenario here. Everybody has watched football besides this year, correct? Everybody has watched. I'm assuming that everybody has watched the NFL besides this year. Okay. So for those that don't know, because there's some people that don't want Mike's girlfriend, she don't watch football. She don't know nothing about it. So I'm assuming might be some people that don't know. Um, they did break him in front of him. So Shador energy was down today. But we'll get into that. Look, okay, here's the scenario. So if he's fourth on the depth chart, what's gonna happen is when they go to games, he doesn't travel with the team. He's on a practice and developmental squad. Okay. They don't suit up 3-4 quarterbacks for a game. Somebody corrected me on that. They said they don't. They suit up 3. Because if something happened to the starter, they do have a backup, and if something happened to the backup, they got a backup. So spot 2 and 3 are backup roles. Spot 4 is developmental squad, practice squad. It doesn't mean that he's not going to play. At some point in the season, he could be elevated to a backup. It just depends. Injuries happen. Things happen, right? They could have a losing record after the 5th week. The fans might start tripping. You don't know. He could be elevated. Okay? But I would like to say, I don't know if in their mind, they want to develop him because they didn't even want to draft him. I remember what the coach said on draft day. He said things happen in mysterious ways. It don't matter where you get drafted. God works things in mysterious ways. But these people, they don't play with God how we know God. These people don't have fucking souls, man. And when they talk about God, they talk about a whole different way. We know that there's a higher power. These people think they're the power. That's the difference. So when he said that to him, that went over my shoulder. I don't really care what he said about that. And I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about people that set out to do people wrong. That's who I'm talking about. I have to be clear here. There's people in this world that just set out to be evil and to do people wrong. And you know how I know? They did it to Baker Mayfield. If Baker Mayfield couldn't survive there, he ain't going to survive there. Okay? Baker Mayfield. It's one thing, God has us all. I know God has Shador, but the thing is, we have to be real here. If a system is set up for him to fail, he's not going to excel in that system. Remember, he don't own football. He doesn't own the team. We don't have no ownership in the NFL. The NFL is the last league where the owners have the power. Major League Baseball, the owners do not have the power. The players do. The NBA, the players have the power, not the owners. The NFL is the last of it, and they're trying to hold on to that power. Do I think they're going to get rid of them? More than likely not. But I don't see them carrying 5 quarterbacks. I don't see it. They're going to carry 4 though, because they need somebody for the developmental squad just in case if he get bumped up. Because just because he's 4th string, remember we got a whole season to play. That doesn't mean that he will stay on the 4th string. It means that he could be bumped up. Remember, Tom Brady got bumped up when he in his rookie year. But the only difference between Shedeur and Tom Brady is Tom Brady had a coach that believed in him. That's the only difference. Bill Belichick believed in Tom Brady. He said he saw something in him. And at some point during the season, he was elevated to the 2nd spot to back up Drew Bledsoe. And then when Drew Bledsoe got hurt against the New York Jets when Mo Lewis hit him when he was going out the sidelines, Tom Brady came in and the rest was history. The reason why that happened because Bill Belichick set him up for success. That's the history on Tom Brady. And I know because I remember I saw the game because I'm a New York Jets fan. I remember when Drew Bledsoe almost got killed. He almost got killed. His chest, like, it's something with the bones, something in his chest got separated. He was in the emergency room for a while after that hit. He got hit so hard. Then Tom Brady came in. He never gave up. He never relinquished that starting role again. The rest was history. So when you have a system where they didn't want you, how do you think that do with your psyche? They didn't want you. And we all know it's not that he's a bad quarterback. That's not it. The NFL said allegedly, according to Eric Dickerson, they want to teach him a lesson. Now my question is, why do you want to teach him a lesson? Now we need to know that. What was the lesson? Why does he need to be why does a grown man need to be taught a lesson? Why do we need to be taught a lesson? You buck breaking. I said that in my video and I meant it. I wasn't trying to be funny. That shit still goes on. Okay? It still go on. I'm not man, listen. Listen. Um his body language, he's a good guy, man. Shador's a really good guy. He's gonna be okay. Shador's gonna be okay. Like I said, it's a long season. He's a gamer, he wants to play, but it's a long season. That's the only thing I could tell him. And Dylan Gabriel and them gonna be thrown in the fire. Okay, because the first 5 games of the season ain't no joke. The first 5 games. The first 5 games is when the real ones are separated from the fake. We all know this. And we all know when you get to week 8, that's when it really gets real, by week 8. Because that's halfway through the season. We got 16 games to go. Listen, he said the lessons, we need our own, like something, but they ain't gonna happen. So, yeah, I didn't like his body language. I didn't like his body language. This is the first time I seen his body language like that. But he's still a happy-go-lucky kid. You know what I'm saying? At least he could say he got drafted. A lot of people can't say that. Um, it's just that this is his calling to go through the fire. They felt, and the word is, they didn't feel like he earned anything. That's the word. They didn't feel like he earned anything, and they felt like he stuck on himself. And I heard they want to teach him a damn lesson. I had already said that because I know somebody that let's just put it that way. They said, bro, they feel like he never earned nothing. And I'm like, wait a minute. Um No, he earned everything he had. Everything he got, he earned it. You don't just go out there and just magically throw up 4,000 yards. That doesn't happen. You have to be good to do that, especially in the Power 5 level. It's not high school no more. You said at least he had a starting line the last. No, he didn't even have a starting line the last time. He had a second string, third string. I mean second string, I believe. Well, technically that's like starters because they're backing up the starters. Yeah, his line was a little better last week. I mean, the week before last. Yeah, the treatment during the preseason. And I remember Kenny Pickett. I remember he had tried to clown him. Like in a practice, Shedeur was mic'd up. He had ran. And Kenny Pickett said he running funny. First of all, Kenny, out of all of them, you don't need to be talking. You don't need to be talking, Kenny. Kenny, you don't need to be talking. Okay? He don't need to be talking. Listen, you said get him the hell out of that hole. That's what Baker Mayfield did. Baker Mayfield said I couldn't even. He said, "Just do what you can do, Shador. Just do what you can do, because Baker already know what time it is there." Lord have mercy. Yeah, he still almost completed that last first. I know, I saw it. You said Flacco got sacked too. I told you that offensive line ain't the best in the NFL. I'm just telling you this. I know somebody said they got a team. They not that good, yo. They're okay. They good. Shador could work with that. You know what I'm saying? What they have, but they not the best line in the league, but they okay. Your Flacco got a sack too. I know it's not good, but look, it's okay. It's okay. Let's just wait till week 5. Matter of fact, I'm ready for opening season because I already know what's gonna happen. I already know they're gonna lose. I'm just telling you this. I already know. I can tell by just looking at the line. I can tell. The defense looked good though. But check this out. The Rams, they didn't play their starters on defense. Then they had their starters out there, so I don't know what that's saying. They didn't have their starters out there. They had some of their starters out there, but they didn't have them all out there. So just let that sink in. They didn't have them all out there. They didn't have the whole hand out there. They just want somebody to, get their feet wet out there, get some reps. So, yeah, they ain't played their starters on Dylan either. They didn't. They didn't. Because that linebacker wasn't out there. The Eagles got a linebacker that got 4.3 speed. He wasn't out there. The one from Georgia. That wear the glasses. He wasn't out there. He was on the sidelines chilling. But we'll see. You said Baker Mayfield got the hell out of. Yeah, he did. The only reason why I know that is because I had him on my fantasy team when he was with the Browns, because we had a lot of people in the league, and then I got stuck with Baker Mayfield. You said they want him hurt before he leaves. Well, this is the last preseason game now. You said the Cleveland Browns won. It ain't no big. They really didn't win. They ain't no win, The Rams didn't play their starters really. They didn't. They ain't play. Hold up, they got a press conference going on. Hold on, let's listen to it. Okay, they got a press conference going on, folks. Hey man, let me just say this, man. I want to say this because somebody say, "Hey man, this is how it goes." Sometimes, listen, I know how football goes. I know if you get the fourth string, I know that you it's certain things that go, and I know that. I know that, but and I know it's a long season. He could get bumped up. I'm aware of this. Oh, let's hear it.
Obviously, we didn't play great as an offense in the second half. That's never on one person. So we can be we can be better in a bunch of areas. It just felt like
Their
we
volume
wanted to give
sucks.
Snoop a last drive. Yeah. Yeah.
Walked up to you after taking his walk down to the pylon, and then he walked back up to you on the sidelines before Snoop went in, and he said something to you. You shook your head. I mean, was he trying to get back
He's
into
a
it?
competitive kid. The plan was to go with Snoop there, so but I wouldn't make any more.
How would you analyze the way Dylan Gabriel played?
Yeah, again, you talk about the quarterback position. It's really about all 10 around that player and how he's playing. So I thought he made some good decisions, made some good throws. I know there's plays that he wants back, but as a group, we have plenty to clean up.
There's another play difficult decision at kicker.
Damn, he didn't even give Dylan Gabriel no credit. He was like, well, how did Dylan Gabriel play? This is Stefanski. He said, well, it's all about the 10 people around him. He right about that. He said it's all about the 10 people around him. He made some good plays here and there, but it's all about the people around him. So he ain't even give Dylan no damn credit. Lord, they both need to get up out of there, dog. The Browns, man, I don't know. See, now you guys thinking what I'm thinking. Remember before all this was, I was talking about my Jets? Y'all said, nah, Max, not the Jets, man. Not the Jets. Yeah, the Jets. Yes. I would love Shedeur. I love for him to come to the Jets. Oh yes, and back up our quarterback. But right now, you'll be right there in it, Shedeur. You come to New York, Shedeur. You ain't leaving New York. I promise you that. You're not leaving. You staying right put. That's right. And he ain't even give Dylan Gabriel no damn credit. He said, yeah, but it's all about the 10 people around him, though. That's what it's about.
All those type of decisions, Tony, we'll talk about.
Dylan, with that 2-minute drive, Kim, I know you talk about situations, but what most impressed you about him during that drive?
Yeah, again, just us getting it's an 11-man operation there. Guys getting open, getting the ball out on time. I think did a nice job in a couple different concepts, worked the middle of the field, but I was pleased with how that group finished the half. Not a lot. Well, we're not testing, so it's hard to say. I'd say let's get the testing. We'll see.
When Shedeur, it seemed like he reverted to some of the drifting or to the retreating. Is that because maybe he's in there with third and 14ers and it's just not going the way he wanted to, or did he?
I think with all of our players, Mary Kay, there's things that we can do better, and there's some good moments out there, but that's what our job as coaches, to develop our guys.
Dylan had that 2-minute drive, and Huntley obviously had to drive to, win the game for y'all, get the game in field goal rather. Kind of what do you think that says about, the place that y'all have in place for, these 2-minute drills, and then, of course, how y'all narrow that down into significance of it?
I think in the course of a 60-minute game, there's just so many situations that come up, and it's our job as coaches to prepare our guys for those moments and make sure that there's a shared situational awareness among our football team. And I thought the entire preseason we got an opportunity at a bunch of different situations.
That lady, Mary, whatever her name is, she said when Shedeur was reverting back to drifting and running was because he was on the third and fourth string. He said, well, we as coaches, we have to develop our players. We have to develop our players and see what's going on. But that's all a part of development. Yeah, he man.
With Dylan, it seemed like he just seems a lot more comfortable in those 2-minute drills. Just almost like he can play freer. Is that an accurate assessment?
I don't know. Good question. I'm not sure how he would feel answering that, Chris. I think he just, that entire group operated really well.
Looked like you got good pressure from the young guys, right? Dwyer, Huntington, Thomas.
Huntington, Aiden played fullback for us in the first play of the game. He played special teams.
Yo, this coach ain't giving nobody. He ain't giving Dylan no kind of. He said the report said was Dylan Gabriel. He real comfortable out there today, huh? I don't know about that. I just know that the 10 people around him, they did good. That's what I know. I don't know how Dylan will feel about that.
Was disruptive on defense. He's on our football team. AB said I could share that with you guys. So he made the football team. But I'm pleased with that entire defense and just how they were relentless to get that quarterback.
Can a lot of sort out, I think, at the wide receiver position, obviously, but Gage has been just awesome this entire preseason. I'm sure you guys thought that way too. Just what can you say about him from camp to now and what he's kind of brought this?
Yeah, lots to sort out, but really pleased with Gage and all of those young guys in that room and really in all those rooms. All of them did what we asked them to do. Constantly were in the building getting better. He's an example of a young man that knows what to do, can line up everywhere, and performed both in practice and in the games.
Looked like Shedeur maybe had been headed towards the X-ray room after the game. Maybe I have that wrong, but he was headed that way.
No.
You have any injury update? Peter Strong concussion?
Concussion protocol, Cade, concussion protocol. Yeah.
And do you know how bad Blake's knee is?
Not after testing, we'll know.
I just saw Ethan walk out with a kind of a big break.
I think we talked about that with Joe.
Yeah, their volume sucks on Cleveland.com, Cleveland Browns website. I mean, their YouTube page sucks. I don't know.
But we've really challenged him a lot, Chris, in just the different places we've put him, and he's accepted that challenge. He's a very, very competitive kid. He plays hard, so we're excited about him.
Okay, thank you guys.
Like, you know, when you've been in the league so long, we all know as players, like, you're getting ready to play that last preseason game, and ultimately, I think it was good to get out there and kind of get your feet wet a little bit, get some rustiness off, get your mind, you know, preparing for the game, going through pregame, all that stuff. I think that's right about it.
Walk out with a knee brace. I know how valuable he is to you and to this team. Just how much of a concern is that to see him with a brace?
Yeah, I think anytime you see guys, you know, walking around less than 100%, you're concerned for your main guys. So we'll see how he feels and then what's actually happening with him. But he's a big piece of what we have.
Seems like you really got in a rhythm. I mean, when that first started, you know, kind of go out there and begin. I mean, was it
Anytime you take the field, man, like you want to go out there and perform well. And we didn't do anything crazy today, but like I felt good. We completed the ball, did what we had to do at times. Just didn't try to do anything crazy. Got the ball in a few guys' hands just to get kind of, you know, get them feeling the football too. And yeah, so ultimately it was a good day.
So, if you don't mind addressing or talking a little bit about the fact that
I know Huntley was running for his life. You would too. You would be running for your life too, man. The offensive line acting like that. You said, did anybody know if Shedeur could be picked up by another team while on the practice squad? Well, no. He's still signed to the team. He's still under contract. In order for him to be released, they either have to release him or they have to trade him. No, he's under contract. Just because he's on the practice squad don't mean that he can't be bumped up to be playing. No, it happens sometime. Like, it's a long season. Anything can happen, and next thing you know, he bumped up. He could be bumped up in week 2. It just depends. It's a developmental / practice squad. Like, for example, say if you need a decoy, like you need somebody to mimic a certain quarterback to give the first team defense a look, they'll go to Shedeur. And then at some point, he'll work his way up to actually playing on Sunday, like traveling on Sunday. It just depends. But no, just because he's on the practice squad don't mean that somebody just going to pick. Now, they could trade him. They could trade him for somebody who need a quarterback. But as of right now, he's still on the team. You said Dylan Gabriel coverage was stacked up. Shador was clearly wanting to play for the love of the game. Yeah. Man, I know at some point he didn't have max protection. Sometimes Shedeur did have max protection, but even when Flacco was out there, he had to hurry up and get rid of that damn ball. He would have been on his ass. A few plays. That line was breaking down. That line was breaking down fast. You know what I'm saying? It was breaking down pretty fast. So they're gonna have a long season. Long season like that. You said it's funny how all these bad actors want Shador to be better than all the quarterbacks who have played football longer than him. Flacco, Dillon, Little Person, Ty combined. Well, who are you calling actors? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. You wrote too much too. I don't know what you're talking about. You just had to get something off your chest. I don't know what you're talking about. We just here watching football. We glad that the season about to start. You know what I'm saying? College football about to start. So we got something to talk about. We dead into the season now. And now we got some people to follow in the NFL, you know, the rest of the squad that played at Colorado. All right, WSP Wrangler, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. I'm going to give you, let me see. I ain't going to give you quite 24 hours yet. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to cool down. And that's a warning. Now, when you come back, I may have to give you 24 hours to think about it. So, yeah, you don't come in here and comfort nobody. We're just sitting here talking. You said Shedeur Sanders equal Tim Tebow. Why you say that? I am unique. Thank you for the blessing. Hold on, is it letting me hard? Hold on. There you go. Thank you. You said idiots talk like Gabriel is a proven pro. He's a rookie. It's just that he been in college 6 years. Dylan like 25, 26. You said I don't think the coach likes Shedeur. I don't think he big on Dylan either. He not. He like, yeah, you know, Dylan, I don't, you know, the lady said he seemed like he was just comfortable today. I don't know about that. I know it's just 10 people. He had 10 people around that was good. I think for Shedeur, he just don't have to listen to this. You know, cut social media off. Don't listen to all of the noise, and just keep grinding. That's it. But the problem is, owner said he didn't want him. It wasn't his idea. So he's in a situation where it's just like it's crazy. And here's the thing, guys. Watch this. They're not gonna let him go, and he won't go to another team. That's not happening, because the NFL, they don't want that type of coverage. They're gonna have a black eye. They're gonna have a black eye on him. Okay, so they don't want that. Just like the guy in the NFL called, like, look, bro, don't draft him, please. Now, like, he shouldn't have failed this much. We want to teach his ass a lesson, but damn, like, draft him, please. You see what I'm saying? But my question is, what was the lesson they wanted to teach him? Well, because he's sure of himself. You need a quarterback that's sure of himself. You see what I'm saying? All quarterbacks got a little edge to them. Some might be a little quieter than others, but they got a little edge to them. They gotta have that. I mean, you're in a hard position. So Tom Brady had an edge to him. You need some type of edge. You can't be, you know. You said they're trying to humble him and say this isn't Colorado. And another thing is, I said that DPS. I said something about buck breaking. Somebody said, "Man, come on, Max, it ain't like that." Okay, what is like then? What? Okay, my question is, what's the lesson they want to teach him? Now, guys, this is not the first time this happened to somebody though. They did it to Tim. They did. They ain't like Tim Tebow either, yo. They did. They didn't like all that coverage Tim Tebow was getting. They didn't. But he ain't get treated like this though. You said he not above the owners. The owners do run the show. Facts. That's a whole fact. And they I guess the lesson was like, look, we gonna tell you if they teaching him a lesson, or they teaching his dad a lesson. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Right before the draft, I remember Coach Prime was getting an interview. He said he's getting ready for the bull jump that's gonna happen on draft day. So he already knew the bull jump was coming. He knew it. He just didn't know how bad it was gonna be. Guys, I said, I'm gonna tell you something. I said this a long time ago. I said this when they first arrived at Colorado. I can go find the video and show you. I said this when they first arrived at Colorado, when he first had that team meeting. I said, uh-oh, he put a bullseye on him. I'm gonna tell you why. It was a lot of kids that lost their scholarship. There's a lot of kids lost their scholarship within that whole, like, after this, before the spring game and after the spring game. You got to remember something. Some parents, they rely on that scholarship. Everybody can't afford hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school, and everybody not trying to go to the NFL. Is they there to get their education, but they're good enough, just a little bit. But he's there to win because he said it. If he go there and start losing for the next 4 years, he's fired. It's all about what have you done for me lately in the Power 5. It's like that in football, period. What have you done for me lately? They don't give a damn what your record was last year. What can you do this year? Right? So he said that the coach would be on the chopping block. But when he let all those kids go, I knew he was on the chopping block at that point. I knew it was a bullseye. They put a bullseye because I'm not trying to bring race into it, but some of these lighter complected people lost their scholarships. And I know they didn't like it. And I knew right then and there, yeah, his nephew did play at Jackson State. Yeah, he did. He played at Jackson State. That's a whole fact. And I'm telling you, I said, yo, they don't like that. They don't like that. Now, what was he supposed to do? Like, what, was he supposed to keep the whole team intact and build that way? Maybe they wanted him to do it that way. And then I remember he said to this one player, he said, well, what about the players that's injured? He said, I'm going to keep those who's salvageable. He said that. I said, oh, man, Prom, you're doing too much. You're doing a little too, because they going to be mad at you. See, I'm old school. I like the old school coaching. But these newer players, they're not into the old school coaching. They're not into it. Everybody don't have thick skin. You remember when we was growing up, my era, that if you were growing up in the 90s, this is all for my people that grew up in the 90s. We had to have tough skin. It don't work that way no more. It don't work that way. I'm telling you, everybody didn't like what he did. They didn't like it. And they didn't like that he retired Shedor's jersey. They didn't like that. I'm being real with y'all. And maybe that's why they want to teach him a lesson. But here's the thing. That's not a good enough reason. My question is, what did Shedeur do, though? Nothing. He did nothing. He didn't do nothing. He did nothing wrong. You know when Shedeur is going out there in the city and being around the kids and stuff, you think the organization like that? No. You know what they think they're doing? They think he's grandstanding. I'm being real with y'all, yo. I'm telling you, I'm being real with you on this one. They don't like it. They don't like the attention he's getting. He did nothing wrong, Karen. Nothing. He did nothing wrong. But we have to get to the bottom of why they treat him like this on draft day. It was a reason for it. Trust me, it's a reason for everything. And I remember what Coach Prime said. He getting ready for the bull jump on draft day. He said, I'm getting ready for this bull jump. So he was already prepared for it. He was already prepared for the bull jump. He didn't know how bad it was going to be. Now, don't look at it as being depressing. Okay, don't be depressed over this. This Shador, listen, we're just talking about like the politics over it. But as far did Shador do anything wrong? The answer is no, no, no. But I'm just telling you, when his dad let all those people go, when he let all those people go, they had a problem with him at that point. This is why they don't have they listen, they had a problem with him. I'm telling you they did. I made a video on it. I said, go, Prime, you might be doing too much, man. You might be doing too much too soon. Remember, you don't own this university. You don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might want to be cool on this one. But he had the mentality like, listen, I got to win. I have to win. Because he's right about that. If he don't win, they're going to let him go. If he don't win. So he want to go out and go get a squad. But I'm telling you, when all those kids lost their scholarships, them parents were pissed. The parents were pissed. When he said to that kid, I'm going to keep the ones that's salvageable, they didn't like that. Because he's not treating, they felt like he wasn't treating them like human beings. Listen to me. Listen to what I'm telling you. When that kid that was injured, he said, well, what about the players on the injured list? What are you going to do with those? He said, I'm going to keep those that's salvageable. If you're not salvageable, I'm going to let you go. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. And they said, okay. And I'm telling you how these people operate. They'll wait 2 years to get you back. They're going to wait 2 years. They'll get you back eventually. In their mind, they're going to try to humble you. I'm telling you what the deal is here. Shedeur didn't do nothing wrong. He's what you call he's catching strays. I said this before. He's catching stray bullets. But is he going to get out the NFL? No. He's not going to lead the NFL. You think he's going to lead the NFL? No. He's going to play eventually. Shedeur's going to play. They know, that's why they keep saying develop him. They know he's a good quarterback. They're not letting him go. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody come along like Dallas, maybe they're trading for Micah Parsons, then maybe he will go to Dallas. Because if Jerry Jones calls, say, look, I'll give you Micah Parsons and give me your first round draft pick give me Shedeur, they will probably let him go. I could see them letting him go for that. So trust me, he's not out of the NFL. This is just like what you call a little hurdle he's going through. But as far as do he got a bona fide NFL talent, the answer is yes. But I'm telling you where the problem came in at. Why they don't like Prime. What's the beef? What's the beef? What's the beef? Is Roger Goodell wearing expressions over him? We don't know. I know his nephew played at Jackson State. Was he secretly wearing expressions? I'm not sure. Something happened here. And that's just all it is. That's all we just talking about. We just having conversation because remember, there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything. What you mean? Why is he wearing expressions? Because it was said that the NFL told the owners not to draft him. Roger Goodell is the commissioner. Straight up. Okay? He's a commissioner. Hey man, the thing is, Prime. You said Prime need to get lawyers. Here's the thing about getting the lawyers though. Shedeur didn't come this far not to want to play football. He wants to play football. Now, if he don't care about it, let me just go get my $500 million because he gonna have a hell of a lawsuit if it's true. Then he could go that route, but he ain't gonna play. Remember, Colin Kaepernick settled with them. He ain't playing. Every year I keep hearing he working out. They not bringing him back to the league. They not. So it's like they're in a rock and a hard place. So, but eventually he will get his shot in the league, man. Eventually he will. Remember, just because you fourth on the depth chart don't mean that you're buried. It's a long season. Anything can happen. People can get hurt in the game, and he'll get elevated. That's just the way it is right now. Should he be getting a break like? Should he be getting the same opportunity as Cam Ward getting? Yes, he should be. But this is just not. You got to play the hand that you dealt in life, and you just got to work it that way. Because obviously he catching strays for something. He catching strays, man. And like I said, when Coach Prime went there, when he let all those kids go, I get it. He felt the pressure to win. But, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like that. Like I said, I just know that's what they didn't like that, yo. Because there was a parent, there was a couple of parents that they were dissatisfied. You know what I'm saying? And they were talking on the internet. They were dissatisfied. But that's the nature of college football. You're gonna shit or get off the pot. Coaches are included. You can't just have a losing season for 2 years and think you're gonna keep staying there. It's a lot of pressure on the coaches to win. There's a lot of money on the line. Everything's on the line. He's not the only coach that did that, but he's the only coach that did it to that magnitude. What's his name at USC? A lot of people left USC when he got there. So it's not the first time it's been done. It's actually been the third time it's been done. Coach Prime is like the third coach to do something like that, but not to that magnitude as he did it. But it was close with the USC coach. When he got to USC and brought Caleb Williams there, a lot of people left that roster and went on and got in the transfer portal and went other places. So people jump in the transfer portal all the time. But when he got there, it was a mass exodus. And I'm telling you, some parents, their kids ain't playing football no more. There's some kids that left that team, they're not playing anymore. Not playing football anymore. Yeah, Lincoln Riley did it. Yes. But the only difference between Coach Prime and Lincoln Riley, Coach Prime inherited a team and only won one game. That's the only difference. Lincoln Riley had something to work with. And some of the players, he said they had to go. And some of the players just left. Just like Colorado, some of the players, there was over 20 players that decided that they were going to quit right before the spring game. You remember that? That wasn't Coach Prime's fault. He didn't tell them to leave. There was about at least 20, 25 players that said they all going to leave at the same time. But you know, they putting it on the coach. You got to put on some of the players. They didn't want to work. I'm telling you, we not in the 90s no more. Some of these players don't want to be hard coached. They don't. Some of us like to be hard coached because we old school with it, but some of these players don't. That's just the reality that we're living in. I would love for a coach to come there and give it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, if you don't produce, you're going to get off the pot. Well, guess what? I'm taking it as a challenge. And I'm going, didn't what's his name take? It's a couple players that didn't what's his name, the safety, Ben? Didn't he take it as a challenge? He's still there. But everybody ain't built like Ben. Everybody, Finisef I'm talking about. Everybody not built like him. To ride it out. Everybody not built like Charlie. Even though he had to retire. but to ride it out like that. Some of these kids are soft. I'm just being real, man. Some of these kids are soft, man. Now, what's the difference between Coach Prime and Nick Saban? There's no difference. Nick Saban, he was hard coaching too. But they ain't gonna go after Nick Saban like that and say they need to teach him a lesson. I'm being real with y'all, yo. They not gonna go after him like that. He was a rough coach, man. The way he used to cuss and stuff, oh yeah. He was an old school coach. He did all type of cussing on that field. All types of cussing, man. Coach Prime don't cuss. He might say bull jump and all that. But he was a Coach Saban was a rough coach, man. He's old school with it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they ain't gonna get after him like that. But I'm telling you, man, it's a reason for everything. But as far as Shedeur is concerned, I would just say for him, hey man, you don't gotta listen to all this. This is just for us to talk about. You're living it. Just cut out all the noise, cut off social media, and just do you, man. That's it. That's all he gotta do is just do him. That's it. And enjoy it, because he in the NFL, whether you like it or not, he's still in the NFL, yo. Straight up. He not going nowhere. They're not going, you know why? Because he's a cash cow. They don't make all that money off his jersey sales. He made money too, though. But look at the team breakdown. Look at the breakdown of who got paid. And look at how much he got paid and how much the team got paid. And tell me who got paid more. Even though Shedeur got about 17, 18 of them joints off that. But the team got more. So he's a cash cow. You think they're going to nah, they ain't letting that go. Not right now. They just going to keep saying we're going to develop him and stuff. And then next thing you know, if Dylan starts starting, he stink up the joint. Shedeur is ready to go. So some people say it's a good thing that he's not being thrown in with the Wolves this season, like early on. They said they would like to see Shedeur come in after the 8th week, 7th week. You know what I'm saying? When the season got good and started, then he coming in and do his thing. But we'll see. He at some point he'll get bumped up. I'm telling you, he's gonna get bumped up at some point. He's not gonna sit on that bench just sitting there collecting a free check. No, he's gonna get bumped up eventually. If not now, we don't know. He might have been bumped up now because I know people are saying he a 4th string. Why not 3rd string though? Because Kenny Pickett is hurt. So I'm not sure about that. I believe he's 3rd string. You said, so what can Shedeur do now? Just keep practicing. That's it, because he's on the team. But it just depends on the scenario. You got injuries, people got dings and stuff like that, and he'll get bumped up. He probably, I believe he may be like, I know people keep saying 4th string. I think he's 3rd today. This week he got bumped up. If the season start tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned, he should be the top 3. As far as I'm concerned, at this point. So, but yeah, man, I saw Dylan Gabriel. I saw you laughing at him when he got sacked. I saw you. I saw you, Munchkin. I saw you laughing at him. You ain't 5'11". I don't care what nobody say. You're not 5'11". I'll give you 5'7" or 5'8". I'll give you that. Not 5'11". Or 6 feet, as they say. He's not 6 feet. Only reason why I know he's not 6 feet because at the Heisman Trophy ceremony when Travis stood up, I could tell he wasn't 6 feet. Travis is 6 feet or 6'1". So I damn near saw you sitting there. I thought his legs was swinging off the chair. That's how short he was. Even though, let me just start, his legs wasn't swinging. But I believe, I don't know, that shit, he a little taller than Ashton Genty. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to clown him. Yeah, he was sitting there. Did you see him laughing? The dude, the other player, he said something. And then Dylan started laughing. Now, I don't know. Shedeur said Dylan came up to him on the plane and was like, yo, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that, man. Shedeur like, all right, cool. You know, it's what it is. I don't know. Is Kyler Murray? Which one is the shortest in the NFL? I'm not sure. You got some short ones in the league, but if it's short, don't mean nothing. If you could ball, you could ball. You know, so hey man, the real season is coming. That's why I say Shador, he's gonna get bumped up. I know people say, "Oh damn, he buried on the depth chart." No, he not. No, no. Remember, no, he's not. We just know that through history, shit happens with a long 16-week season. Things happen. Next thing you know, he bumped up. Like, damn, yo, Shador, he bumped up. Yeah, it can happen. I know it's not Dylan's fault they picked him over 12. I know it's not his fault. Dylan did a little something, something today. You know what I'm saying? A little something, something. Okay. And then they hurry up and took him out of there. I saw it. They hurry up and took him out. Let's get him out. Get Dylan out. He happy today. Dylan happy. Like, yeah, I did something today. Shit. You know what I'm saying? You said men stop growing at 22 years. Yeah, I know. I know he ain't growing no more. It ain't about being short, Bridget. We got some short players. I'm talking about not they average height for us, but and for NFL wise, they're short, and they still doing their thing. Kyler Murray doing his thing. I don't know how tall Kyler Murray is, but I don't think he's quite 6 feet. He doing his thing. The guy from Carolina doing his thing. I remember when the guy from Carolina went to. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean it's a long season. Put it that way. He get bumped up with no problem at all. Just a long season. He's not the first good quarterback to have to wait. You know, there's a lot of good quarterbacks in the league that has waited. They didn't play right away, and they went on to do great things. So we gotta have it on a positive note. Okay, so Kyle, they not that short. Kyle and Bryce list at 5'10". That ain't short. They just look short compared to the behemoths in the NFL. You said he's 5'11". He just looks short next to Flacco. Flacco is 6'6". So yeah, nah, bro. Go look at the Heisman Trophy ceremony when he was standing next to Travis. Go look. See, it's a lot different when they got church shoes on. It's a lot different now. He ain't got them cleats on. He got church shoes on. Okay, you put your church shoes on with some regular heels on. Okay, that gonna tell the story. Okay, I could tell by the way he looked with his helmet on. The helmet looked bigger than his body. I could tell he's short. He ain't 5'11". He not. Now maybe he is. I don't know. You said Dylan is not 5. I don't know. But I just know he looked tiny out. Even Shannon said it. Shannon Sharp, he's tiny. He said he's so tiny. I know Shedeur taller than him. Shedeur don't look tiny out there. He's just like a regular quarterback. Oh man, you went back. Remember Peyton threw all those interceptions his rookie year, right? And Peyton 6'5". You said Kyler is 5'9". My cousin played with him at OU. Yeah, Kyler. Yeah, they might say 5'11". Nah, yo. You said, will all you please leave this man alone? You talking about Dylan? We not saying nothing bad about Dylan. I just said he looked tiny out there. I ain't saying nothing. I just say his helmet looked big. Okay? I'm not saying nothing wrong about Dylan. I just know his ass was sitting up there laughing. Oh, you talking about Shedeur? I know little man was sitting up there laughing today when Shedeur got, when he got sacked to where he almost fell on his head, that sack, I saw them laughing. You said Peyton could play regardless of his height. Oh yeah, no man, come on man, that's a legend right there. You talking about Peyton Manning? No, we ain't got nothing to say about Peyton Manning. I have not yet seen another quarterback do what he did with all them audibles he be calling. Not one. You said Peyton had the first string O-line. Well, Peyton had a great offensive line. So he had Jeff Saturday, as his center. Yeah, he was laughing. You said maybe he just hold the ball too long. This NFL, not college. Yeah, he gonna shine eventually, Radar. What's up, Ryan? You said the Browns must have put the fourth string offensive line. Yeah, that had to be the fourth string, dog. They put him in there with tax advisors, man. Like straight up. You know what I'm saying? They put him in there with the fourth string, man. Go in there and do it. And what's his name? Snoop was running. He was running for his life too. Even Flacco got knocked on his wallet. I'm like, Lord have mercy. This is gonna be a long season. Yeah, Walter Payton came from JSU. You said, bro, I stood next to him. Hold on, let me see. Bro, I stood next to him. He's not 5'9". UCF, Oklahoma, and Oregon all listed him at. So, okay, Johnny, is he 5'11"? Well, first of all, hold up. Let's do this. Johnny, how tall are you? We go out to see. And you said, so what? How tall you think Dylan is then? Yeah, it was a setup. Had him in there with the fourth string offensive line, man. Yeah, the rig's still in, Thomas. Hey guys, I got something like after this live, I'm about to go on Bigo and talk about this and then have a panel. So if you guys want to follow me on there, let me give you my link. I'm gonna go on there and oh shoot. Yeah, I just signed on there. I hate when they do that. I got a whole page over there with a whole panel going on. Yep, I got a whole panel going on over there. So we could chop it up if y'all want to come over there. I'm all over the place, man. YouTube, everywhere. But I have like a whole panel going on. Let me just give y'all the link real quick if y'all want to follow me over there. It go down over there too, yo. Because they don't censor us over there. We don't get censored at all. It really go down over there. I really turn it up over there, yo. And I have a whole panel over there just turning up. You know, talking about whatever, playing music, all types of stuff. But y'all here for this game. So the season getting ready to start. All he got to do is just cut out the noise, still play. But I could see his body language was the way his body language was. He like, man, I'm about to go in here with the full string, brother. His body language is off, man. But keep his head up, he'll be straight. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. But and his spirit, you could tell, man, he wasn't himself, man. And just how he walked off the field, yeah, man. I know they wanted to tear him down mentally, Bridget. It's lucky he didn't get out there. He didn't get hurt today. You said the coaches were happy to see him. I know they happy to see all of them. They were happy to see that. Dylan probably thinking, hey, at least I got me at least a third string spot to keep my check. Politics, man. It's just politics. It's crazy. You said Shedeur is a rhythm agility quarterback. Got to make quicker reads and get rid of the ball. A.K.A. Aaron Rodgers style. Y'all think he held on to the ball too long, or it's just that offensive line was crazy? I think that just that offensive line was horrible because what's his name was running for his life too. That line, it's almost like they just, I don't know. I know the hell I couldn't go in there and play with that line. He was getting rid of the ball quick, Ryan. He ain't had nobody to throw to. He didn't have his regular person there throwing he was throwing to. He had straight up just, he was fourth and fifth. Do they even have a fifth string? He had fifth stringers up in there, man. Shit, they had me in there playing today, y'all. Y'all didn't know. They had me off the street on the offensive line. Y'all missed it. I'm being with y'all now. I'm icing my knees right now. They had me blocking for him, man. You heard me? You played too, Raider. They had me up in there, man, for real. They had me up in there, man. My look, my bad, Shador. You know what I'm saying? They had me up in there. They said, Max, let me give you 25 real quick. They go in there and provide max protection. That's what happened. They had me up in there. I'm icing my knees now. They had me up in there, man. You said they had you at wide receiver. Yeah, like for real. Like for real. Hey Thomas, what you think the first 5 games gonna look like? They got Flacco, so what you think they gonna do? Because I'm gonna be checking in to see. We're gonna look at that record. You said why your knees hurting? You didn't do nothing? I'm old, man. Rebecca, I'm old now. Rebecca, I'm in a protected class. That's how old I am. I gotta ice my knees, take my ibuprofen, and my Tylenol. You see what I'm saying? I gotta rotate. I take my Tylenol 4 hours later. I take my ibuprofen and ice my knees. Yeah, they had me up in there today, man. For real. That's why he was looking like damn, man. They got brother Max up in here, man, trying to play tight end. They had brother Max up in there trying to play tight end today. He know he was about to run for his life. I'm like, don't worry, Shedeur. I'm gonna catch a penalty for you. I ain't gonna let you get sacked. I'm gonna catch a penalty for. I'll at least call a penalty, a chop block. I'll at least call a chop block for him. I ain't gonna let him get knocked on his wallet. I know, man. What Eric Dickerson said, I do believe they wanted that information to get out there, and they don't give a damn. They wanted to get out there. You said Dylan Gabriel needs a Hall of Fame team to get a first down. You said Dylan was making fast decisions to throw. Shador seemed lethargic. It was painful to watch. Bro, it'll be painful to watch. You see, if you playing against four stringers, shit, you might as, like I said, you might as well put me in the game. Yeah, no fifth round pick got this attention because he's not a fifth round pick. Even though he got picked in the fifth round. It's an unusual situation. But like I said, man, he could get bumped up. I mean, it just depends on what they want to do. If Kenny Pickett is still hurt, as far as I'm concerned, Shedeur is third string. You know what I'm saying? He's not fourth string. Or he's not really third string. You know, I don't like Dylan, but that's just my preference. I don't like Dylan at all. They going with Flacco because, you know, this is 18th season. Damn, Jess. That's a lot of sacks. None, Gibson. No fifth round pick had this much attention with jersey sales ever. They don't care about that, it seems like. But like I said, all he got to do is just keep at it and see what happens. Oh and 4 Ryan, starting out the season. If they 0 and 4, they're gonna have to make some changes. Yeah, Dylan happy today. You said you see who they play, man. They are losing the first 4 games. Bengals, Ravens, Packers, and Lions. Yeah. Yeah, it looked like they ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah. Deshaun chilling. You know why Deshaun chilling? He don't have to play no more football to make 230 million. They got to pay him all of it. It's guaranteed. But I mean, I have to find out. I mean, if he sat there and the offensive line was like four stringers, I mean, we don't know what the possibilities are if he didn't have the first string offensive line. We'll never know. And he didn't have the first string receivers out there either. So it's just the optics is just set up to make it look bad. That's what it seemed like to me. It was just set up for him to look bad, man. But guys, I'm gonna head up out of here. If you wanna get on a panel, yo, come check me out over there. I have a whole panel discussion after this. Follow me over there, and if you want to get on the panel, be my guest. We be rocking out over there. Me share it again. But I'm gonna have to get up out of here. I'll be back a little later. But Shedeur, keep his head up. You know, it's just crazy with all the press came out. Hopefully he just like mute the noise and just continue to do what he do. But it's just like it just set up for him to fail. I saw him laughing on the sidelines. They were laughing and all that. But hey, man, we're gonna see what this season about with them though. You know what I'm saying? The first 5 games they losing them for sure. They gonna lose that. And yeah. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later.